We don't attract women. We attract like
Computer
programmers and guys with sort of blood-spattered baseball card collections. Bob is the great rationalist.
Todd has a great sense of style.
Steve has never-ending charisma.
Wow.
It's pretty simple. Steve flails about crazily. Todd is the star. And I'm kind of the anchor over in the corner.
I personally don't see any real triumph in selling a record to someone who won't appreciate it.
Obviously.
That's what a great proportion of promotion is focused on, is trying to get anybody to buy a record. One of the biggest advantages to not throwing ourselves in front of people all the time is that we can sort of engineer a semi-private, or at very least a less than flamboyant show or event or whatever.
She flies as a crow flies in a straight line, straight to hell. Why? Pathetic! Pathetic! Pathetic!
Bands that are sort of addicted to the cycle of advance hype and then event and post-event coverage. They really have to play everything for maximum grandstand appeal. We can do smaller stuff that's just for our own entertainment without being concerned with stuff like that.
We all have jobs and don't get together that often to practice or record, maybe once a month, once every 2 months. So our band time frame is stretched out from a normal band's time frame. So, you know, a week of Shellac takes 6 months. So I think in a lot of the Shellac songs, there are a lot of parts that just, we go from one part to the next by watching each other. And you know, it's all, there's no specific number of times we do something. So if we weren't playing it all together, we wouldn't know when to change to the next part.
Too late. Oh, Sancho Page. Gary Cooper's story. It shines like Sam Mason AIDS outside. Gonna eat what I pick. I hope you're choking. Dance or raise the dead.
The styles of contemporary rock music recording now, the dominant style is one of very heavy production, a lot of layers of sound laid one on top of the other, and so what we're doing seems to be in stark contrast to that.
Into fire. Gonna lay down. All that time. What do they do? Into fire. Under my hand. A lot of people out there use a thing like.
There are a lot of records historically that were made the way we make records that I think sonically sound very similar, or just in terms of the sparseness of them. A lot of the older rock and roll and rockabilly records were done with a live combo playing in a room. An awful lot of the early punk rock records were made that way just because no one had any money, and that was the cheapest, easiest, fastest way to make a record. The influences around for me, starting with the Ramones and then going through the whole litany of the early punk rock bands, the ones that I remember being the most important are the Chrome albums, Perubu, Television, Throbbing Gristle, Suicide, Kraftwerk. I mean, I tended to really cling to bands and records that were bizarre.
worth more than the boat.
Some of the more important records to me, I think, in my life have been Mission of Burma, Versus album,
I'm not ashamed to hum along to ABBA now and again.
and the second Dinosaur record, You're Living All Over Me, and Slint, Spiderland record, probably my three favorite records in the past 10 years.
You had all the stuff to me. Only know what you anywhere. Every time you let your chance to prove, never thought what I would do, and you're acting on the spot. And I'm mad. And I'm mad.
I sort of feel like the music we make is intended for a select audience, you know, people who will appreciate it, and other people shouldn't try.